So you ready for the top five Stephen King adaptations?
Yeah,
Our-
let's do it.
yes, this is our final in our trilogy of Halloween episodes. So figure we'll go with the best scary movie writer of all time, probably. Even though some of these will not be scary movies, obviously.
Well, in a way, some of them could be.
Mm-hmm.
And like my first one
Yes.
could be in a certain respect. I mean, even in his non-scary movies, there is a part
Sure.
in that movie that could be scared. So it's not
Yeah.
considered a horror movie, but it could,
Yeah.
you know,
Exactly. Well, what's
indicate some sort of horror.
yeah, yeah. So I'll let you start off then. What's your number five?
My number five is the Green Mile.
Ah, okay.
So to me, the horror part in that thing was when the guy was being electrocuted and they
Yeah,
didn't put the thing,
right. So
the
he'd
rubber
feel it.
thing, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, between the thing. And it was like the guy was frying, his eyes were popping out.
yeah. That was
Uh,
brutal. Yeah,
yeah, right. And he wasn't dying. It was
right.
on for like 3, 4 minutes.
Yeah,
The smoke's coming out of his body and
yeah,
all that.
yeah. That was a tough scene. And then even the imagery of like the flashbacks to the two girls that were killed, that they were trying to pin on the guy. I forget the actor's name. He's passed away in real life, but Michael Clark Duncan, I think, is the guy. But he was great in the movie, and of course, Tom Hanks was great as always.
Yeah,
And really
but
cool story. It's kind of a downer of a
yeah,
story, but
it is walking a mile.
yeah,
Yeah, it's about obviously it's about convents, you know, uh, uh, meeting their demise by walking down this long hallway to the electric chair.
yeah, exactly. But it
Yeah,
had some good. There's kind of several stories in one with the one guy, the guard that worked there, that was kind of the evil character. He was just he was out to get this guy.
right.
And
And then the guy that had what, the pet mouse or the pet rat.
right, yeah,
Yeah. So it
that had
did.
a lot of
It did have.
characters.
Yeah. So it had later scenes.
Right.
So it's not like one big.
Hmm.
You know. Uh,
Yeah. In a way, since also it was directed by Frank Darabont, who did Shawshank, it almost felt like, in some ways, like a sequel to Shawshank, because it was in the prison for most of the time, and
right.
prison movie. But yeah, that's a good choice. I did not put that on my list, but definitely an honorable mention for me. So my number five is Carrie
Carrie.
from.
Yeah. I that put that on my honorable mentions.
Okay.
Which Carrie?
The original one,
The original.
Brian De Palma directed,
With
from
cute.
Sissy Spacek was the
Yeah.
main
This is
role.
basic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, she was great in it. This is one of the few. Well, actually, no, I've read three of the five that are on my list. I read the book on this one, and I thought they did a good job staying pretty faithful to it, which was difficult because the way that he wrote this book was very interesting. Like, he would just, it almost felt like stream of consciousness in some parts, because it would just have her thoughts written like in italics and then go back to the story, which was really cool. But yeah, the movie was, man, talk about a final scene where it gets really insane at the end when she gets her revenge on everybody. But yeah, the this teenage girl that has a crazy relationship with her mother, who's like over the top religious, but she has these powers that are supernatural, that she doesn't quite understand, and then all these kids make fun of her. and they really go overboard with this plot to make her look bad at the prom and all that. So it's kind of like a righteous revenge at the end, basically. if I mean, maybe a bit over the top, but with like electrocutions again and all
Yeah,
that
be
kind of stuff.
careful who you make enemies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that probably inspired a lot of teenager, well, of course, slasher films and that kind of stuff. But yeah, a great one. So that's my five. So what's your four?
My four is It 2017.
Ah, okay.
Uh,
I actually haven't seen it yet. So the whole thing, part one and two.
uh, yeah, actually, I saw uh, It Chapter 2 a couple of days ago.
Oh, okay.
And the original It was, I think, a lot better than the last one.
Part one, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it part two took place 27 years later, so
Hmm.
they were grown-ups,
Right.
uh, and the clown came back, Pennywise.
Yep.
Uh, so they made this bond, that they would come back and stuff. But
Yeah.
they went back and forth in the second one between
Hmm.
just to I think mostly to refresh your memory, and there was like a subplot on why they had to do that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think the original was scarier.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So the and the guy that played it looked really amazing from the clips that I saw. I know, and there was a version of it that was made as more of like a made-for-TV movie back in the '80s. I think Tim Roth played it on that one. It was a
yeah, I
bit,
vaguely
yeah,
remember that one.
right.
Yeah,
Not Tim Roth, Tim Curry. I'm sorry, but
yeah,
yeah, but that one, yeah, I remember vaguely. It wasn't that great, but yeah, I did hear good things about this new one. So cool. Yeah, didn't make my list, but my
yeah. I
number.
mean, anytime you got a thing with like kids being kidnapped
Right,
and eaten and killed, it
yeah,
makes it more horrifying than like you see a teenager or
right,
or an adult, getting captured and stuff. So because kids get scared so easily, so
right,
you're feeling for the kids when you're watching the movie and stuff, and you
right.
like almost like putting yourself in their place.
Yeah, exactly.
So it like enhances the fear. You can feel the fear better and stuff. Also, it has like really good special effects and
Okay.
makeup and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out. I don't know how I ended up missing it, but I'll get there eventually. So so my number four is Misery.
Okay,
Uh,
I have that higher up.
okay, cool. Yeah, great movie. Yeah, James Caan plays the guy, the writer who has the car accident and then is helped to get back to normal by this crazy
Crazy,
lady.
crazy fan. She
Yeah,
was an obsessed fan with the guy.
yeah. And she was unbelievable in that. I mean, I don't know if she won the Academy Award, but I know she was definitely nominated. Um,
And you,
Kathy Bates.
yeah,
Uh,
Kathy
yeah,
Bates. And you could feel like James Caan's fear.
yeah,
Where he's like tied to the bed and stuff,
right.
and
And that one
knowing that,
scene where she's got the hammer, that was
yeah,
crazy.
you're just like, so, again, not really a horror movie, but
Yeah.
it has horror, fear and horror in it.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And like when he's trying to escape the first time, and I mean, and then even when the last time you're like on the edge of your seat, like, oh man, is he gonna make it, and how's he gonna get out of it? So cool the way it ended too. But yeah, I mean, Kathy Bates was amazing in that, and yeah, you feel the isolation too, like just this house out in the middle of the snow. Uh, yeah, and Rob Reiner directed this one. I thought he did really
Yeah, he
well.
did. Yeah.
Um, I've got, I think, another Rob Reiner directed one on my list too. But
Yeah, so do I.
okay, cool.
So now
So
we have another one in common.
yes. So what's your number three?
That is my number three.
Ah, okay. Very good. Very nice. Well, my number three is probably also higher up on your list because I know you love this one, The Shining, that we've
No,
talked
it's
about.
not. I left The Shining off.
What? You left?
I just did The Shining last week.
You're so inconsistent, man. I don't know what to make of it. One of your favorites of all time, and you leave it off. Okay.
Right, but I left it off because I felt that the movies I put on were better.
Better adaptations of Stephen King, or
Yes, better
okay.
adaptations of
Well,
Stephen.
I think King would agree with you probably because he didn't like what Kubrick did with The Shining, supposedly. Uh, I don't recall why he didn't like it, but it was something to do with the fact that he thought Nicholson seemed mean the whole time, like there wasn't as much of a change, I guess, in the character. Um,
Yeah, like
which,
when he was going for the interview,
right,
he had that evil look,
right, yeah,
where he was like, yeah, no problem, I'm in.
yeah,
Lock me in here, I'm
yeah,
good.
yeah, right,
And
exactly.
he had that like grin that he does
Right,
with
yeah.
the eyebrows going up.
Yeah, he seems evil anyway, so it's
Yeah,
like yeah,
right.
it didn't see and I think there is probably some truth to that, even though I mean Nicholson totally transforms into a maniac by the end of it.
Yeah,
Uh
I'm not a big Kubrick fan anyway.
right.
Yeah,
But that probably would be your favorite Kubrick movie if you had to pick.
but
Well, I don't want to. If we get to a top five Kubrick, I won't give it
I
away
didn't
for you.
do a top five Kubrick.
Not
We've
yet.
done so many now, I can't remember.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's still, I mean, that movie, as far as a horror movie goes, and I think because I saw it because I was very young at the time, that scared the hell out of me, man. Like the scene where he's chasing the kid through the maze at the end,
Yeah,
and probably because it was the father trying to kill the son. I mean, that's pretty psychologically damaging for young children to watch. But yeah, great movie.
yeah. I mean, the kid did an interview. Actually, I saw
Yeah,
doing an interview, and because they were asking him, it was like when you were running through the maze and stuff, didn't that scare you? And
yeah.
he said no. He goes, they had me running through the maze, but they didn't tell me why.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when you think about that, the kid was did an amazing acting job because probably throughout the movie they didn't tell him why to look scared
Right,
or
yeah,
whatever.
they did it. I mean,
Yeah,
the only thing he had was when he had that scene with
and
Scatman
Scatman
Crothers.
Crothers. Yeah,
Yeah, right. When they were talking about the shine, that
right.
was the only time he had the inkling of what was going on.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, red rum, red rum.
That's right,
That's
red
that's such
rum,
a
red
weird,
rum.
creepy thing. But yeah, yeah, that's a movie we could talk about for hours. Obviously, we
Yeah.
already have, I think. So, all right. So, what's your number two?
What is my number two?
I
Uh,
have a feeling we'll have the same two and one.
yeah, it could be in a different order.
Yeah.
Number two is the Shawshank Redemption.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that is a different order. That's my number one. Yes.
I know that's your favorite, all-time favorite.
Yeah, I mean, one of my all-time favorites, period. Yeah, just again directed by Frank Darabont, uh, and of course the great Morgan Freeman, and
Who's in every movie.
yeah, it seems like sometimes, yeah. But he was amazing, and what's interesting about his character, it was written for an Irish guy, like with red hair or something in the book. But I don't know how the role ended up going to him, but he was perfect in it. And I think he even says, kind of jokingly in the movie, that he's Irish in one part. But Tim Robbins was great as well in the role of Andy Dufresne, probably his best role of his career, I would say. And man, what an ending that we can't give it away, but one of the best
Yeah,
surprise endings of all time, I think.
yeah,
The
yeah,
way that they did it was genius. This is one of the ones that I feel like the adaptation, the film was better than the book.
yeah. I'm
Um,
surprised you didn't put that on your heist movie.
yeah, I didn't even think of it as that, but
Right,
that definitely could work for that.
that could have
Sure.
worked. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Heist has so much gray area, man. But
I know we should have been more specific, like banks or trains or something like that.
right, yeah, prisons also. Yeah.
or
So
or weird, eyes.
yeah. But yeah, every character in this movie is so good. Like the guy, the head of the prison is so evil. The actor is, I'm looking it up. Bob Gunton, he was great.
Right,
William Sadler, all the other inmates. And there's all these other side stories, like the older guy that's been in prison for so long
right.
that when he gets out, he's not accustomed to it and like loses his mind.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
another thing like we talked about uh, a little bit further down below on our text, where you know the bad person gets
mhm,
his gets it in the end type
right.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah. This is, yeah.
the revenge thing.
Yeah. The righteous revenge
The
is so great
righteous
in this.
revenge. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Another, righteous revenge thing.
Right. And so this comes from it's like a novella. That's a book that has four different stories in it, called Different Seasons is the name of the book. And I think the title is actually longer. It's like the Shawshank, Rita Hayworth and the Shawshank Redemption or
Yeah,
something
right.
like
It
that
was something like that. Yeah, Rita
because of the
Hayworth
poster that he
and
has.
Shawshank Redemption. Yeah,
Right. Yeah. But yeah, I thought they kind of expounded on the story and made it even bigger and did a great job. So
yeah, because it was considered a novella
right.
rather than a novel, which means, it would be thicker. But
So this leads into my number two and probably your number one, which also comes from the same book called Stand By Me. Is
yes,
that correct?
that
Yours
is
one?
correct.
Yeah. Nice. Also directed by Rob Reiner. Uh, yeah, what incredible movie. I mean, the acting by the kids was incredible when you think about their age, which they were probably a little older than what they were supposed to portray at the time, but
Yeah,
still, I mean, River Phoenix was incredible. Just the scene where he like breaks down, where they're at the campfire talking about how he was taken advantage of by the teacher. Um, Will Wheaton, who went on to do Star Trek Next Generation. Corey Feldman, probably one of his best acting roles,
right.
as the
And,
kind of
and
nutty
Will
kid.
Wheaton had like his own TV show. I think
Yeah.
it was like a cable TV show.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was
And then,
on. Uh, Now it's off the air. I can't think of the name.
I can't remember
He
either,
he
but
came he came on that TV show a couple of times and stuff like that.
right. The kid who played Vern too, I can't remember his name, but he was great. I mean, they all were awesome. And this is another one where, and King, I know this was one of his favorites too. This and Shawshank. I think
Yeah, I
Rob
mean, to me,
Reiner took it up a notch.
it was more about uh, friendship, the
Hmm.
kids, coming together, went on this quest to find this body,
Right.
that was off on the train tracks and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh man, the train sequence is so intense
Yeah,
when they have to do the train dodge. And I mean that yeah, like you said right off the bat with this episode, there's within this movie that is about friendship, there's all these scary moments
right.
and horror, like even the story that he tells them that's fictional about the kid that eats all the pies. It's like gross and scary in its own way.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's so many elements within the story. The leeches scene is
Oh,
creepy,
God,
and
yeah. You just say
yeah, there's so many memorable scenes, and
that
I
was
love
more icky rather than scary.
right,
Yeah.
but yeah, I love
It was
how
just the location of where some of the leeches were.
right, yeah, exactly. But yeah, the way that they it's like a nostalgic movie too because it's set in the 50s and all the great 50s music, and then you had Kiefer Sutherland was great in it as
Right, a bully.
the bully that yeah he's I mean like almost to the point of like killing them bully. It was ridiculous.
Right.
But yeah, another great ending of righteous revenge, man, against the bad guys.
Exactly.
So
The
yep,
good guys win.
that's right. So yeah, King, that I think that's one of the things that makes him such a great storyteller is he has these universal themes of good versus evil. Um, whether it's the main plot or not, that's always an element, I think. And like some of the best writers, Tolkien included, you
Yeah.
know, the good versus bad is where it's at.
Yeah. And going on a quest.
Right. Yeah, and I mean this story is all about going to see a dead body, which is a creepy thing to have a
Right.
story about.
But it was a quest.
Right. Exactly.
And as they were on this quest, they were bonding more.
Right. Yeah, and I think Stephen King has said that this was a very personal story for him. Like he kind of wrote almost autobiographically about him and his friends back in those days. So
Yeah.
uh,
And the thing is too, like the both It movies,
yeah,
basically like the same thing. The kids were bonding together
yeah,
as a group in order to take on Pennywise, which was their quest
yeah,
to get
exactly.
there. So through a lot of King's movies, there's like almost like the same themes.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Okay, so putting this list together, so we had one and two just in different order. So I'm
Have
looking
to
at
go to Letterboxd.
Letterbox says that Shawshank has a 4.4 and Stand By Me is 4.1.
Oh,
So so
ooh,
Shawshank at one and Stand By Me at two.
ooh.
And then so I guess Misery will be at three then, because that was the other one we had in common.
In common, right?
Oh, one last thing about Stand By Me I wanted to mention too. Richard Dreyfuss was great as the narrator throughout the
Yeah,
film.
that's true.
Yep. So cool. Okay, so now four and five. So your four was it. Hold on. Where is my list? Oh, I had The Shining at three, so I think we'll just have to put Shining at four and it at five, since I had it high, my three versus your four, basically.
Okay.
So that's a pretty good list.
So you got the Shining back in there anyway.
Yeah, man, you tried to shut it out,
And
but it just
another
keeps
and
coming
another
back.
top five list. This is like four movie, four.
The Shining is the most universal film ever. So, all right, cool. Any other honorable mentions?
Yes. Silver Bullet.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, we saw that when we were a kid.
Yeah.
Shining. Tales from the Dark Side, the movie.
Uh-huh.
Secret Window.
Okay.
Uh, you said Carrie.
Yeah.
The Pet Cemetery movies.
Yeah.
Cujo,
Yeah.
the big dog thing.
Right.
Uh, It Chapter 2.
Mhm.
Oh, by the way, King's in that movie for like about 2.5 minutes.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, he wasn't bad either.
Okay, cool.
Uh, The Running Man,
Yeah.
Christine, the car chasing after the guy.
Right.
The Mist,
Yeah.
Creep Show,
Mhm.
Doctor Sleep, the latest.
Right.
1408,
Okay.
Dolores Claiborne.
Oh, that was a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. The Dead Zone,
Uh-huh.
Children of the Corn, any
Right.
of them.
Yeah.
The Lawnmower Man,
Okay.
Needful Things. I remember seeing that one way
Yeah.
back when it came out in 1993.
Right.
Dreamcatcher.
Okay.
After I saw that movie, I had to get rid of my Dreamcatcher things.
Yeah.
And The Dark Tower.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I mean, he's had so many books, and so many of them have been adapted. But there were some bad ones too. Like I can't remember the name. Was it like Sleepwalkers or something? Where there's these weird cat people. Like it was so badly made. But uh, but
I
yeah,
don't even remember that one.
but yeah, I think even the story might have been bad on that one. But yeah, he's one of the best, man. So all right, so let's read the official list. Top five Stephen King movies of all time. At number five, It. At number four, The Shining. At number three, Misery. At number two, Stand By Me. And at number one, The Shawshank Redemption. Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. I certify this list. I'm good with it. All right.
I'm
So
good with it too.
okay, cool. So next week will be the top five movies of 1976. So stick around for that one. It's going to be a good time. And if you like this, like and subscribe. Check out our other episodes where we talk about The Shining and other movies. And yeah, so I'll see you on the next one. Love you.
Love you too.
All right, bye.
Bye.